Imagine this scenario: you are slowly but inevitably being stalked by a human-like creature. There is no arrangement with it, no shelter where you can hide, and nothing you can do to escape its pursuit. This creature is programmed to find you. It is as merciless as a rolling stone and as unstoppable as a tank. The method of eliminating it is a mystery. The only thing that remains is a sense of hopelessness and fear, as described in James Cameron's movie called Terminator. The atmosphere of fear and despair is conveyed in this movie perfectly. Putting yourself in the position of the characters in the movie, you will feel the true terror. Fear slowly penetrates you like a sticky tar, and it seems that you can't do anything about it. Admittedly, even I myself have dreamt of a Schwarzenegger-like cybernetic monster of the future more than once, making me jump up in the middle of the night in a cold sweat. Perhaps the same thing happened to James Cameron himself. The director was inspired by his nightmares and brought them to the screen. That's probably what made the story so terrifying and realistic, and it remains relevant today in the context of recent events that don't bring much optimism. Agreed, the original movie is impressive not with special effects. The effects were created on the knees with a minimum of means, but they cannot be outdone by any modern movie computer graphics. And it is not Schwarzenegger in the lead role that impresses most of all. The film is mesmerizing in its atmosphere and realism despite the fantastic plot, and it did so despite the movie's modest budget. In the sequel, the atmosphere of dystopia has gone somewhere, and Doomsday surprises with its technical mastery. Although the plot is much the same as the original, it doesn't evoke as much fear. This is due to the fact that the cyborg from the first installment has become an advocate for good and is now commanded by a teenager. With such a protector, there is no room for fear, even if he is a liquid metal monster. And yet, despite the strange plot twists, the third installment maintains a sense of distress throughout the movie, even amidst the comical moments and cartoonish characters. There is a premonition of something terrible, as if a terrible event is about to happen. This feeling remains unchanged, and despite any humor, no matter how funny the characters are. Then this atmosphere of hopelessness was transferred to the series The Sarah Connor Chronicles. With each new series, the tension grew, reaching its peak in the final episodes of the second season. However, the series failed to achieve the same integrity and depth as the original movie. The fourth installment, May the Savior Come, is an interesting movie. Different from the standard run-and-gun action flicks, the plot remains interesting and offers an unexpected twist on a familiar story. But there are some plot misunderstandings here as well. The subsequent installments of the franchise aren't worth watching, as they feel more like rides, and the cyborg no longer evokes fear, even if it takes on the appearance of anyone. Admittedly, the first Terminator, made over for decades ago, remains the best film in the franchise. It still evokes ineffable feelings and leaves a deep mark. If you still want to remember a cyborg from the future trying to change the course of events, you should re-watch the original movie. What are your favorite parts of Terminator, and which part do you revisit most often? It would be interesting to hear your opinion in the comments.